your question, we can feel it bubbling there. Your question is, am I doing something wrong? Am I either wanting the wrong thing? Do I not really want this? Or am I doing something wrong? And we say, out of the vortex, out of the vortex, out of the vortex thoughts. How about all things are in perfect timing and everything is working out for me and I'm rendezvousing at the perfect time and place with other co-creators with whom I'm interacting? What about, you can tell by the way you feel whether your thought is about what you really want. Have you heard us say that when you feel negative emotion, like would come if you would beat the drum of, maybe this isn't something that I'm really supposed to want, or maybe this isn't something that I really want. When you offer that thought, you feel how uncomfortable that feels. And what that discomfort always means is that thought that you have activated by your attention to it is in utter disagreement with what your inner being knows. And what your inner being knows is what you want. Isn't that really clear? What your inner being knows and what your inner being is what you really want. So when you think about the absence of this and you feel negative emotion, what does that tell you? Your thought is in tremendous opposition or resistance to what you really want and to what your inner being knows and to what your inner being is, you see. So much second guessing goes on in your physical environment because you introduce into the equation so many opinions from so many others and so many experiences of so many others. And the reason that is not a good idea is because, first and most important, you have no way of knowing what's in their vortex because you don't get guidance about what's in their vortex. And next, not only do you not know what's in their vortex, but you don't know what their day by day, moment by moment, vibrational relationship is with their vortex. You don't know the thoughts they think. You don't really have any accurate information about any of the manifestations that are happening to the majority of people on the planet. In other words, you only know what is given to you, usually by outside speculation, by someone who's not even part of the mix, you see. So once you begin understanding that the way you feel and is an indicator of your alignment or not with what you really want, then all of those questions dissolve. All you have to do is think for a moment, well, maybe this isn't something I'm supposed to do, and feel the utter depression that sweeps over you to know that that's not a valid thought, that thought stinks. Usually something that someone says when they have thought or desire that they've identified that hasn't manifested instantly or maybe even easily. And then they start second guessing the validity of it. Maybe I don't really want it. Maybe I shouldn't really want it. Maybe there's something wrong with my worthiness, or maybe there's some reason that I'm just not going to get it. So maybe I shouldn't set myself up to really want it because I'm setting myself up for a big disappointment. There are so many people who do not understand vibration, who do not understand law of attraction, who are surrounded by people who clearly want things that they don't have. And so they protect themselves and they try to protect you by saying, oh, you should not allow yourself to get your heart set on something that you really have no control over. And we say, there is nothing that you cannot create. There is nothing that you cannot find the vibrational essence of and bring to full manifested fruition. There is a way to have everything that you want, you see. And as long as you allow we started to say, as long as you keep your dream alive. Those were not correct words because the vortex is keeping your dream alive. The vortex in your inner being is tending to all of that. But you must keep the vibration alive enough or active enough within you to line up with it on a consistent enough basis in order for the universe to yield to you the avenue through which your creation will be. But miraculous is usually something that someone says when they had an outcome that they think they didn't deserve or wasn't lined up. It's like some outside force created something. Get used to life in the vortex. That's the way it is, where all kinds of things rendezvous for the unfolding of things that you want. And so a miracle is a fine word as long as you understand what it means. So let's define miracle in the context of what you offered. A miracle is when universal forces converge to yield to you what you've put into the vortex. A miracle is your final alignment with what's in your vortex. A miracle is self-affected, self-imposed. A miracle is you finally rendezvousing enough, you becoming a cooperative component to what's in the vortex so that the vortex can spin you in. Do not come to the ridiculous assumption, and we're using that word very powerfully because we so want you to hear this. Do not come to the ridiculous assumption that because something has not unfolded for you, it's because you do not want it. Or because you do not really want it. Maybe what you really want is really good timing for it. Maybe what you really want is things to be aligned just right. Maybe what you really want is clarity about some other things first. But you have no confusion about whether you really want that or not.